Peace be with you. My name is Allan Keislar, and although I'm in America, I'm always thinking about Pakistan. So I was reading this morning the Holy Quran, and I opened to this passage, or these verses, from Surah Saffat. The last two verses of the chapter is where I opened to, and peace on the messenger, and praise to Allah, the Lord and Cherisher of the worlds. So this is our success. If we simply wish peace upon the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and we simply praise Allah, the Lord and Cherisher of the worlds, that is our success. That is our protection. So I have, for a few weeks now, I have sort of deviated from my real purpose, I guess, my mission, you can say, which I've understood again really is meant for Pakistan, especially for the people of Pakistan, to understand that Pakistan is not an ordinary place, but is a chosen place, a place where, God willing, pure Islam will be reestablished. So, for some reason, which I don't understand completely, except that I am a human being, and human beings are prone to error, in the English saying, to err is human, so I have made some error, I've made some mistake, and set aside my real purpose. I guess I really have thought this for many, many decades, that this was my purpose, but somehow, and I don't understand why, I did get deviated a little bit, so I'm asking everyone's forgiveness for that. I'm apologizing for that, and I just wanted to say that there's one other very important issue that I want to talk about, and I hope you will also be willing to discuss it, because I think this is the most important thing happening right now in the world, not only for Pakistan, not only for America, but for every country in the world. What is happening right now is the climax. What is happening right now is a culmination in this war, the final war between the forces of good and the forces of evil on this planet. I really believe that. We are right now at that very, very critical time in human history when the forces of truth and righteousness, goodness, morality, peace, love, are all ranged against the forces of evil, selfishness, the forces of ignorance and darkness and confusion and disinformation, deceit. And we are now seeing the coming of the dawn of this new day and the coming of the light into this darkness of ignorance, but it is a struggle. It's a big, big, big struggle going on right now. And this election in the United States is a sign of that struggle, in which the mass media especially, and also so many other institutions in this modern society, but especially the mass media, which is how people get information mostly nowadays, the mass media and the social media, is bent on deceiving people, especially about the results of the U.S. presidential election. And the media is trying to say, no, nothing's wrong, everything's good. Joe Biden is the president-elect. He's even made an office of the president-elect. And actually, there's been a lot of fraud. And the Dems, the Democrats, they knew that they were going to lose the election. Therefore, they prepared to do a lot of fraud. And they did a lot of fraud. But now the truth is coming out. So I don't say one political party against another political party. This is not Republicans versus Democrats. But it just happens that President Trump is actually, despite his weaknesses, and he certainly has weaknesses, in fact, some serious issues I always had with him, so I did not vote for him, either this election nor the past election. I disagree with him quite strongly on some of his positions. But nevertheless, he is an honest, sincere, God-fearing man. And the opposition to him, it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, whatever, but the opposition to him is a satanic force, an artificial intelligence, very, very powerful forces of darkness and deception. And they are trying to stop him because he is really trying to open up the truth. He is wanting to expose these forces of corruption and bring in a government based on truth and justice and on love and kindness too. He's actually a very kind and generous man, although the mass media, under the control of the satanic forces, has been presenting him as a horrible person. But he's actually a very kind and generous person and a God-fearing man, definitely. So I just wanted to make that statement. I'm convinced of that. And I will see if we have any questions, and I will try to explain things. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer or explain them anymore. Okay, FK Shahid says, Assalamu alaikum, Babaji. How are you? I am very well, thank you. I'm happy, actually, because I see that the truth is coming out and the deceit is being exposed. Not only in this election, but especially in the election. Okay, Muhammad Afzal says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam ji. Rosemary says, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are well and in good health. Yes, I am in good health. Thank you very much. Rose says, thanks for doing these live chats for us. I'm very happy to do them. I hope I will be able to continue to do them every Saturday at this time. Welcome, sir. I really appreciate you are one who always thinking about our Pakistan. Second, sir, what about U.S. election? Will Trump become president or Joe Biden? Please explain us. Thank you. I have no doubt at all that Trump will become the president. Joe Biden is a very weak man under the control of satanic forces. He is just their chumcha, their sycophant, and they have tried to make him win only because they're against Trump, really. Joe Biden would be an incompetent president. He couldn't be a good president. There's no doubt about that. He's been in politics for almost 50 years, never done anything significant, and done a lot of bad things. He is really a sycophant or a chumcha of the satanic forces. So God will not allow Biden to become president because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a job for Trump to do, and he will do it. I have no doubt at all. And the reason is not just intuition or spiritual insight or anything. It's just seeing the news about all the fake ballots, about all the computer irregularities. In one county in Michigan, the computer program actually gave 6,000 votes of Trump to Biden. That was, they said, oh, it was a mistake or human error or something. No, actually, that was on purpose. And more of this is going to be exposed. And there were so many dead people who voted, they said. There were so many people who voted more than once. There were so many people who, and they stuffed ballots. They made lots of ballots. When they realized Trump was going to win, in Pennsylvania especially, Trump had such a huge lead, hundreds of thousands of votes ahead. 800,000? I can't remember. So they decided to stop this. And they started making lots of ballots just with Biden in it. There are many different candidates for different positions, and often in America on the ballots there are different issues that the voters vote on. Those were all blank. Only the presidential race they put in, checked for Biden. And that on the night of the election, after the election, they realized they're losing so much, these satanic forces made hundreds of thousands of ballots for Biden. So this is all a big fraud, Big, big fraud. And it's now coming out. And the mass media and the social media, they're trying to censor this knowledge. Many people, I guess, still think there's no fraud because that's what the mass media keeps saying. There's been so much fraud. But people don't know that because the mass media says, no fraud, no evidence of fraud. There's lots and lots of evidence. So it's impossible for Joe Biden to become president. Trump will definitely be president because he is a very strong man and he's not going to submit to their fake news and their deception and disinformation. And it will go to the courts if necessary. It will go to the legislatures and the truth will come out and Trump will be re-elected. Trump has been re-elected, but they are making fake news about Biden winning. Impossible. Sanam Shabir says, Assalamu alaikum, Baba. I am Shabir Ahmed from Kashmir. Pray for me for my spiritual life as I have requested to you earlier through live chat. Love you, Baba. Oh Allah, please bless Shabir Ahmed from Kashmir. May he prosper in his spiritual life. Because you're from Kashmir, I'm always thinking about Kashmir especially. All of the great suffering that the people of Kashmir are undergoing in the Indian-occupied Kashmir. I don't know which part of Kashmir you're from, but in either case, I'm praying. And I can't pray for everybody that asks me to during the chat, otherwise it will take too long, but I did for you because Kashmir is a very, very special place. I visited Kashmir when I was a child, more than once. Very, very beautiful. Most beautiful valley, the Vale of Kashmir is the most beautiful, incredibly beautiful place. And it will again become a beautiful and spiritually strong place where love is established. Watana Sarakan says, Salam and hi from Thailand. Oh, very nice to have you with us. FK Shahad, Allah bless you with healthy and peaceful life. Thank you. Rosemary says, it's happened when you are on right path. Shaitan comes on pious people from every angle. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. Ameen. Thank you very much. Yes, so we are humans. We sometimes succumb to Shaitan's tricks, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects us and brings us back to the truth. Iftikhar Ahmed, sir, would you like to tell us the story of how Divine Prophet, peace be upon him, named you Ali Muhammad? Was it in your dream or it happened in face-to-face meeting? It was not really a face-to-face meeting. I was not sleeping, but I felt his presence. And I felt that he was telling me, your name is Ali Muhammad Kartarpuri. So it was not a dream, but it was not face-to-face either. It was just a awareness of his presence and a hearing of his voice. That's how I experienced it. I may be wrong. Maybe it was my imagination. I don't know. But I thought it was actually the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, speaking to me and telling me that. Okay, Inamullah Yusuf Zai says, Assalamu alaikum, Janab. Kaise ho aap? Main bilkul theek thaak hoon. Allah ka shukr hai. Carlos XM says, peace. Peace to you too, Carlos, brother. Khurram Khan says, Assalamu alaikum. Please share what had happened and you aired regarding NOI. What is your present stance on that? Yes, this is a very good question. Well, actually, I still really don't understand what is going on, to tell you the truth. I have said, I explained before, that I have a very good close friend who told me years ago about Master Louis Farrakhan visiting Master Elijah Muhammad on the mothership or the mother plane. And that was impressive to me. Before that, I had never taken the Nation of Islam very seriously. But I did then, because I respected that gentleman so much. Very close friend, an American black man. But he was not a member of the Nation of Islam. But I knew him for many years before that. So that made me have a different attitude towards the Nation of Islam than most people in America do from the media, very fake news about it. But then, and I really don't understand, to tell you the truth, for some reason I was afraid, or maybe I was, I don't know what, but I thought I have completed my work in Pakistan. I thought that whatever I was supposed to do, I've done. I've explained everything that is needed in Pakistan, that People of Pakistan must understand Pakistan is a very special place chosen by God for the reestablishment of pure Islam, and people of Pakistan must become pure. And real Islam means love. Love, truth, justice, kindness. And that's all the people of Pakistan need to know. So I was thinking, that's enough. I've explained everything that needs to be explained. So then I was thinking, then what am I supposed to do now? And then I had this idea I should write a book about different religions coming together and resolving the contradictions, apparent contradictions. But then this idea came in my mind, and maybe it was from Satan, I don't know. But this idea came in my mind that because I had lived in Alabama for about 2 years, many years ago, 1970 and 71. I was living in Alabama in a black community. I went to a black college, Alabama. So that was a very, very amazing experience. And I realized the black people of America are very special people also. Very holy, very spiritual. Quite contrary to the propaganda against black people in America in the mass media, which is just the opposite. Just like the propaganda about Pakistan as a center of terrorism, actually people of Pakistan are very, very kind and gentle and spiritual, and even the most hospitable people in the world. Exact opposite of what the media. So in the same way, the exact opposite of what the media says about black people, in America especially, that black people are violent and criminal and drug dealers and all of this and so many other horrible things. So, but I saw myself, by living for 2 years in Alabama, I saw these people are wonderful. And as I have said several times, the old ladies prayer group that I attended regularly was the most deeply spiritual group of people I'd ever been with like that. So somehow this idea came to me, and at that time I learned Alabama. Alabama means God with us. Alabama in Persian means God with us. So I was thinking Alabama is a very special place too. So then somehow I got this idea that I should promote the Nation of Islam, because one of the tenets of the Nation of Islam is that a territory must be given by the government of the United States to the black people of America in reparation for the horrible treatment of black people in America for so many centuries, slavery, and then even after slavery was officially abolished, in some senses it continued even till now. But so that is, somehow I came to that conclusion. And then I began studying a little bit about the Nation of Islam, which I'd never really studied carefully, and I was actually quite amazed, impressed. But then I started talking about it in my live chats. And then I made some big mistakes. For example, I think the biggest mistake I made was I said that Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is a prophet of God, because that's what I thought they were saying. But actually, then I found out they say, no, he's not a prophet of God, he is a messenger of God. So that was a big mistake, and a lot of people became very upset. And then I also said, because this is what I read in the Nation of Islam literature, that Master Fard Muhammad is Allah, is God. He actually uses those terms. That was also very shocking. It was shocking to me. I couldn't accept it at first, but then I felt, well, that's what they're saying, and I thought well of them, so I thought maybe it's true, it must be true, and I repeated it. And then I learned that no, Allah, there's this word Allah, or the word God even, is not only used for the original source of everything, the origin of everything, the originator, but it's also used for other personalities who are great, great, great servants of God. So Master Fard Muhammad is not the original source of everything. He's not that Allah that I've always used the word Allah to mean that original source of everything. But the name Allah is also used in the Nation of Islam for Master Fard Muhammad, who is not the original Godhead, the original Allah, but is a great, great personality, the chief, I was told, of the 24 elders who were mentioned in the book of Revelation in the Bible. Anyway, that was a very serious mistake, and many people became very upset. So Islam is meant for peace. Islam is meant for unity. Islam is meant for harmony and love. But I had caused a lot of disunity. And by my mistakes and my weaknesses, I had created a lot of misunderstanding and even hatred between Muslims. So that was definitely a big mistake I made due to my own misunderstanding and my own who knows what. And then I realized actually that, and my present stance is that the Nation of Islam is definitely meant for black people. In fact, I was reading the Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad, and I read there that white people are not allowed, Caucasian people are not allowed in the meetings of the Nation of Islam, which I could understand. That would make sense. But then I thought, oh, it's not really meant for me. I'm not supposed to be in this. And then, anyway, I may be wrong, but this was, I do think it makes sense to me that the Caucasian people are not allowed in the Nation of Islam meetings because white people have always dominated and controlled and manipulated black people in America. So that's perfectly acceptable to me. Anyway, it does seem to me that Caucasian people, at least I can say for myself, we're very self-centered and argumentative and stubborn and always wanting to dominate and exploit others. So I figured I should stay away from the Nation of Islam. And besides, I do have this other work, which is really the work I was given, and I should not run away from it out of whatever misunderstanding or false emotion or whatever. I should continue trying to help the people of Pakistan understand what I have been told and I believe is real Islam. Real Islam means peace and love. Real Islam means not just following laws like many Muslims think. So what is a Muslim? The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has appeared to me visibly sometime in vision, but also in audience. And he told me once that you understand what it means to be a Muslim. They don't understand. Those people who think they understand what it means to be a Muslim, they don't. So what does it mean to be a Muslim? A Muslim means somebody who is kind and loving, somebody who is truthful and honest, somebody who is just and fair, somebody who is moral. But most Muslims think that a Muslim means somebody who believes in the Holy Prophet Muhammad, believes in Allah, believes in the angels, believes in the last day of judgment, and prays and fasts, in the holy at the proper times. So the question arises: who is a better Muslim? Somebody who fasts every Ramazan faithfully and prays every day, 5 times a day, goes on Hajj, Mecca, gives in charity, and recites the La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah regularly every day, many times, but who commits all sorts of sins and crimes, all the worst things, is a traitor, treacherous, is always lying and stealing, cheating, corrupt, giving bribes, taking bribes, committing all sorts of abominations against women, or if she's a woman, I guess, against children or anything. Horrible, horrible activities. All the worst crimes, all the worst sins, but follows all the principles of prayer and fasting and everything. Or somebody who does not do any prayers and fasting, but is very honest, truthful, always serving others, always helping others. So I would say the love and kindness, the service, that's more important than the externals. Because somebody may be praying externally, reciting the words, but in the heart thinking of something selfish. So this is really what I have been told I have to teach people of Pakistan, that real Islam means love, truth, peace, justice. And when the Muslims of Pakistan understand this, then Pakistan will become the leader of the world, a spiritual leader at least, if not in other ways too. And again, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, specifically told me, this was in 2017, when I had just begun reciting 5 times every day namaz, and then he came to me and he said that actually, see, he understood that I was going a little bit off, I think, and he corrected me, thinking that's what's important. And he said, anybody who follows any religious tradition, who follows the laws and teachings, and especially who is loving and kind and calling on the name of God regularly, that's the most important. Zikr is actually the most important activity for everyone of all religions. So somebody who is doing that, praying to God, glorifying God, serving others, being kind and generous and merciful, and always loving, doing to other people what he would like or she would like to be done to themselves, that person is a real Muslim. Doesn't matter their religion, so-called religion. And he specifically said the Sikh people, the followers of Baba Nanak Sahib, they are actually real Muslims. I don't like to say this because people get upset, but the fact is, he said, they're actually better Muslims. Overall, not every Sikh is better, but the overall, the people of the Sikh community, the Khalsa, they are better Muslims than the overall Muslims. So, so this is the real present stance that I have, that my job is to try to help the people of Pakistan understand what is real Islam and to become kind and loving, especially loving to people of other religions, especially, of course, the Sikh brothers and sisters who are real Muslims. They're really are. They really are real Muslims, according to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And not only that, but the Hindus and Christians and others, Parsis in Pakistan, they are also, if they are kind and loving and serving, truthful, just, fair, they're also Muslims. So this needs to be understood. And when this is understood, then in the Constitution of Pakistan it says only a Muslim can be president, or, I think, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Then there's a few positions reserved for Muslims. It doesn't mean what we think of Muslims. It means anyone who is surrendered to God. That's what it means to be a Muslim. So anyone who is surrendered to God can be president or prime minister of Pakistan, whether or not he or she appears to be a Muslim by the usual definition of superficial or artificial judgment of what is a Muslim, somebody who follows these externals of the Sharia of Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So this is a very, very important point. This has to be understood by the people of Pakistan, and then the whole world will become amazed at how Pakistan has become such a wonderful, loving place where people of all religions are together in unity and harmony, working together in love. So anyway, that's my job now. So whatever Nation of Islam is doing, that's up to them. That's not my work. My work is to help the people of Pakistan understand true Islam, love, and truth and justice. Okay, Markel D. Sulaiman says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam ji. Abdul Wahid says, Assalamu alaikum. Oh. Allah, 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 Allah. Zikr. Yes, this is our real job. This is the most important thing. The most important thing for every human being, and people from other planets also, all intelligent life, has this prime duty to call on the names of God. That is the best thing we can do. Calling on the name of God means not just saying it, but feeling it from the heart, praying with great intensity. Oh God, please let me serve you. Oh God, please protect us, please guide us. Allah, 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 Allah. Saying the name of God, listening to the name of God, but most important, feeling in the heart. Oh God, please, please guide me. Please let me serve you. Please help me. That is the most important. This is what I've been told. This is the most important thing that I should teach, especially to the people of Pakistan, but to everyone. Do zikr. So thank you very much, Abdul Wahid Sahib. Carlos XM, voice is very low. Speak a little more loudly. Thank you. Ghani Rahman says, hi, sir. How are you doing? I'm fine. Thank you. As you can see, I'm quite happy. Shamshad Ansari, Shamshad, sir, salam, dua for me, USA, Texas. Okay, I will do that. Sunil Umar, salam, what do you think about American elections? Joe Biden won, but Trump is not accepting. Do you think allegations of fraud is any? Joe Biden did not win. That was all fraud. Trump won by a lot. Probably millions of votes were stolen from Trump by electronic techniques and by fake ballots. But it is all going to come out, definitely. Allegation of fraud. But the mass media is not reporting it, so nobody who believes only the mass media knows the truth. But Joe Biden did not win. That is a lie. That is fake news. Trump won by millions of votes and by many electoral votes. Carlos XM says, I pray for your strength. Don't be broken because you are amongst those who lack in their understanding of the historical record and scripture. Thank you very much for your encouragement and for your prayers. Please do continue praying for me, for my strength and guidance. And I also am praying for you and for all of your brothers and sisters. Mark Eldoy Suleiman, thank you for sharing. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us love is freedom, justice, equality, and obedience. Very nice. Iftikhar Ahmed says, Baba ji, aapne kisi ke... Let me get my glasses here. When the writing is in the Persian script, it's a little hard for me to read because it's so small. Baba ji, aapne kisi ke haath pe baat की है? नहीं, मैंने नहीं किया. तसव्वुफ के लिए आपके रोज़मर्रा ये लफ्ज़ मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि मामूलात क्या हैं. अच्छा, so the first question is, have I taken bath? I was told by a great Sayyid that you are a disciple of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, that he gave you a name, he appeared to you, he has told you what to do. So actually, in the Owaisi, he said, in the Owaisi Silsila, this happens. So you are in the Owaisi Silsila, and the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is your murshid. So you can say from the Holy Prophet Muhammad himself, peace be upon him, and he gave me the name Ali Muhammad Kartarpuri. So he's asking, what do I do? What is my daily activities? So I've explained this many, many times. I get up early in the morning, I do zikr, and I do my ablutions, and I say my morning fajr prayer, and then I recite prayers from other traditions also, Christian prayers, Lord's Prayer, 23rd Psalm, other Christian songs, mostly that I learned as a child. Then I recite Hindu bhajans and Hindu prayers, and then I recite also Buddhist, Taoist, Sikh, Jewish, Jain, Native American, both North American and Central American prayers, and then Parsi, Zoroastrian prayers, African, Japanese. So I recite all of these different prayers, and I do zikr, and especially more than only 5, but usually I do at least 5 names of God every day, as many as I can each. Allah, 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 Allah. Toini, 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 toini. Adonai, 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 Adonai. Ram, 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 Ram. Hikum, Garikum, 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 Garikum. So I do that. And then I read Holy Quran, Holy Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Dhammapada, Guru Granth Sahib. Not all of them every day, but at least some scriptures I read every day. And those are my main activities. Then during the day I also say prayers from different religious traditions. I maybe 3 times a day, rarely 5 times, sometimes 5 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day, but at least every morning. I spend at least an hour, or often more than an hour, in that prayer and scripture study every morning. So that's my main Sufi or tasawwuf activities. Carlos XM says, this theological exegesis has yet to be challenged on the world stage by the religious clergy. They can deny but can't show and prove. I pray you can withstand the fanaticism in the East. Okay, thank you very much. Makil D. Soleiman says, this is true regarding the false media regarding black people in America. The reason why the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did the Million Man March was to combat the false stereotype portrayed by media. Yes, Carlos XM, a prophet has to prophesy something. Anyway, I really don't know. I've made some mistake here about calling the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the last prophet until the Day of Judgment. And that now we're in the Day of Judgment, so there can be more prophets. I've said that for years. I've been saying that. So I thought it's okay. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad can be accepted as a prophet of God. He certainly, they say in Nation of Islam, he is messenger of God, but not prophet of God. But I didn't understand that. So I made a mistake in understanding what is prophet. But so I made so many mistakes in understanding Nation of Islam. And then because of my mistakes, it blew up and everyone was objecting to so many things I was saying. Anyway, I hope God is merciful and he will forgive me for my mistakes and correct me. So Holy Prophet Muhammad actually told me once, he said, I will always guide you. Meaning even if I make a mistake, he will correct me. So he has done that very mercifully. Although I was so stubborn, it took me a while to understand what he was saying, but eventually I did. Markel Suleiman says, the word God means force and power. Yes, okay, yeah. So I didn't understand that when it says in the message to the black man that Master Fard Muhammad is God, is Allah. I thought that meant the supreme power originator, supreme source of everything. So it was my misunderstanding. So I made a lot of mistakes. Carlos XM, all we have to do to stand on is the scripture. And now, yes, whites can come into meetings, but they can't be in the ranks. Okay. Sarah Rana, Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Justice is necessary for peace. What's your opinion? Oh, definitely. Justice, in some ways, is the most important thing. Justice is the manifestation of love. You cannot have love without justice, because people will take advantage of your being kind and loving. So we must be just, yes. Justice is absolutely necessary for peace, definitely. Markel Suleiman and Allan, please pace yourself. Please take time to listen to speeches of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Saif Ali, is Joe Biden a good person? No. He's a very, very bad, very satanic, worst person. Total liar. Everything he says is a lie, practically. If you look at his so-called press conferences, it's all rigged from the... He knows what questions they're going to ask, and he has the answer all prepared. And he makes it seem like it's a spontaneous question. No, he is not a good person. He's about as bad as you can get. Sayyid says, can you please share the story of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and their meeting with Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in England? Oh, well, I've done this so many times. I've told this story, but very briefly, I'm not going to tell the full story, but very briefly, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appeared to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in England, in London in 1934, and ordered him to go back to India because the Quaid-e-Azam, Rahmatullahi, he was in India working for the independence of the country from the British, and there was so much politics and so much difficulty that he realized he would be able to do better because he was a lawyer, a constitutional lawyer, a very, very good one, very intelligent man. So he went to England and he was working there. And he didn't want to return to the politics going on in the freedom movement in India. But the Holy Prophet Muhammad ordered him to go back and take up the leadership of the Muslim struggle for independence. So that's the story. Okay, but you can see it. There are many videos I've made in detail. Michael Suleiman says, if I may, you pull from many books. This is rare. It is imperative that you have an appreciation for your ability to pull from many books. What you have come to witness is true. But as the question was asked to Musa, how can you have patience with that which you have no knowledge? Yes. So I've said this many, many times because a lot of people, a lot of Muslims say you should only read the Quran, don't read those other books. A lot of Christians say you should only read the Bible, don't read those other books. But I have been told that I must read the other books and I must pray the other prayers. In fact, I've been told very, very clearly many, many times from many, many higher sources, higher authorities, that definitely the world peace will come only when people of different religions come together and pray together, study the scriptures together, of the different scriptures. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm encouraging people to do. Of course, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Read only one book in itself is sufficient. But if you want to help establish world peace and unity and love between religions, then it's important to read the other books and study and understand them. And especially pray and zikr. And I've experienced this for many years. When people of different religions come together and pray together, something special happens. God is especially merciful. And that will bring about true understanding and world peace. Sarah Rana says, yes, you are saying right. Muslim is kind and loving for others. Yes. Michael Suleiman says, I will leave you to ponder on these things. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked his followers to no longer the character description devil when describing Caucasian, but for us to call them the slaver master's children. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. You should be able to answer that question better than me. Michael Suleiman says, secondly, Master Fard Muhammad's mother is a woman from the deep, deep parts of the Caucasus Mountains. Would you call her a member of the Nation of Islam? Oh, good point. I hadn't thought about that. Rose Marley says, maybe people of Nation of Islam are good. I don't know much about them, but you are a special soul, and certainly it was from Satan. Maybe you need special prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask for protection and guidance. Sorry, forgive me if I am not in position to say anything because I feel you are special soul. Well, thank you very much. Definitely I need prayers. This was much longer. I missed some of this. Then in the middle it said, maybe you need special prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask for protection and grant you a spiritual teacher. Ammaji is there, but maybe you need some sort of different protection and guidance. Ammiji, meaning my spiritual teacher, she is, I think, quite sufficient for me. You think I need something more, but no. For me, she is sufficient. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is also my teacher and with me. So I think I have enough guidance and protection. And if I deviate and don't follow them, then Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, will send somebody else as happened in this case, also give me some message. But thank you for your concern. Michael Suleiman says, lastly, consider this. Prior to Master Fard Muhammad's father's marriage, his mother, Master Fard Muhammad, taught this Caucasian woman about the reality of God, self, and others. Okay, I didn't know anything about this. I did know that Master Fard's mother was a Caucasian woman, but I didn't know anything about the relationship between his father and mother. Sarah Rana says, two types of people are living in this world, evil and good deeds. Muslims have handled both tasks, forbidden of evils and secondly, order of deeds. What's your opinion? Yes, of course. Very good point. Uzmatan Ali says, yes, sir, I agree with Sir Michael D. Suleiman that the mother of Master Fard Muhammad and Master Louis Farrakhan are Caucasian, and all Honorable Elijah Muhammad says is to get the black people out of inferiors. Then the Nation of Islam brings us all to be one equal servants of God. I never knew that the mother of Master Louis Farrakhan is Caucasian. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I think you're right, though, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad got the black people out of inferiority complex. Definitely. Great, great service he did. Saif Ali says, Joe Biden says hadith of Prophet. It shows he is better than... He's a better deceiver. He can quote hadith to deceive you, not that he is a real Muslim. Rose Marley, remember me in your prayers, please. I will do that. Ali Akbar Nizamani says, Assalamu alaikum, aap Pakistan aao, aapko mere murshid Latif ke dargah ka didar kare, inshaAllah. Amjad Malik, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Hope you are in best of your health. India wished to enter Pakistan into a war. That is why he is waiting on border every day. What do you think about it? Yes. This current Indian government is very, very satanic also. Very deceptive. Their whole modus operandi is to do disinformation, false information against Pakistan. The Indian government is blaming Pakistan for terrorist acts that are actually being done by Indians themselves. So it's a very dangerous situation, but don't worry. Allah is more powerful than they are and will protect Pakistan. So, yes. Ali Akbar Nizamani, inshallah, aapse mulaqat hogi, inshallah. We will meet, yes. Michael D. Suleiman says, it has come to me that your God is one God. So whomever expects to meet their Lord, let them work in righteousness, and in the worship of your Lord, admit no one as a partner. You are 100% correct in acknowledging all the religions and the messengers and Allah revelations. Thank you. Khurram Khan says, I wanted to know your present position on NOI, please, if you didn't respond to this already. I think I did already. I spoke about it quite a bit from the beginning of this. I had some questions about that. So you can go back and hear the chat. Rose Marley says, we can do prayers of other religions, but two things are very important for us. God is one, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, is his last prophet and messenger of God. Yes, that's for you, but for Christians, Jesus is the most important, and for Buddhists, Buddha is the most important. For Jews, Moses or Abraham is most important. So each religion has the most important person, their prophet. But so all should come together, respect and appreciate the others also, and work together, because actually all are teaching basically the same thing, the love of God and service of God's creation. Michael Suleiman says, no, Brother Allan Keislar, I am humble, only aiding what you have said. I am not here to judge you. Thank you. Muhammad Yunus, God has willed it. Automatically translated. Okay. Inshallah, yes, inshallah, this will, God willing, world peace will be established very soon as we come to understand the truth, as the deception and the disinformation that is full and the mass media is full of. When that is cleared away, the truth is established, then people will realize we are all human beings together, and we all are servants of God together, so we should all work together in love and harmony and that will bring world peace. But people of different religions must realize every religion is good. Not only my religion is good and my prophet is good. Everyone's religion is good. Everyone's prophet is good. Everyone has made mistakes. Everyone has had deviations. Everyone has misunderstandings. But the most important thing is love and unity and harmony and justice and truth, morality. So yes. Yasser Mahmood, hi, please tell us something about Pakistan as the last fort of Islam. What would be the prevailing conditions prior to that? Many thanks. I really don't know. I'm not a prophet. I cannot prophesy. I cannot see the future in anything. What prevailing conditions must be prior to that. But I do know that Pakistanis must become Pak. Pakistani people must become pure and must have pure understanding of real Islam. And then that will be the prevailing condition prior to Pakistan becoming the true Pakistan, the true land of the pure, and the true Medina Isani, the second Medina. Usman Shan says, Babaji, hope you are in good health. Allah bless you. Thank you very much. I am in good health. Mukul Di Sulaiman, please continue to pray for me. By Allah's mercy, I am fine. Michael D. Suleiman says, remember, Allan, people do not know the difference between devil trait and shaitan trait. Oh, I don't either. I didn't know difference between devil and shaitan. So you'll have to tell me. Michael Suleiman, recall Book of Job and Quran, how shaitan was walking with the angel, servants of Allah. The so-called observers, the so-called followers of Allah did not know that shaitan was with them. Oh, very good point. Yes. Shaitan is very clever, very deceptive. Michael D. Suleiman, devil trait confines evil to themselves. Satanic personalities perpetuate evil to the populace. Oh, very, very dangerous. Satan is very dangerous. Therefore, we pray daily. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka. A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim. I take shelter in God from the accursed Satan. We must always pray for protection from the Satan, who is not only evil himself, but is perpetrating evil to the populace. Thank you very much. Khurram Khan, what is your advice to people of Pakistan? Call on the names of God with truth, with fervent prayer. Please bless us. Please purify us. Please let us serve you as you want us, not as we imagine. Not what we imagine, but what you know is the truth. Okay, and Makaldi Suleiman says Amen. So Amen, that is the essence. Okay, thank you all very, very much. May God protect us all. Allah Hafiz.